This is what my hair looks like now.
I wanted this on record. You have a nice haircut. It looks real good, Chip. I'm not gonna lie to you. It looks good. Now it's because
Thank
it's
you.
my hair, but it still looks pretty good.
Thank you. Everyone's telling me that, and my imposter syndrome is kicking in, so I don't believe it yet. But we'll get to a second there. But yeah, I said goodbye to my long hair,
But
and I'm
why?
doing
Like,
this.
what made you make the hard choice?
It's hot. It's hot.
It's your summer due.
It is my summer, dude. We'll go back to a long hair during winter.
Okay.
Speaking of this, well, not really speaking of nothing, but I wanted to ask, is your wife there with you?
No. Why?
Okay, I need you to extend a message to her.
Okay.
Yeah. So on Saturday, when I thought we were gonna record on Saturday, but then something came up. I think something came up with me, and then we were gonna record like a later date, and something came up with you, so we had to like move it.
Yeah.
So on Saturday, so a little context. I deleted the Facebook app from my phone, so I don't have Facebook on my phone anymore.
Okay.
So I'll enter Facebook once on a blue moon when I'm on my computer, which is very rarely. I don't use Facebook anymore.
Uh-huh.
So I just opened Facebook and I saw that I have a message from Nikki on Saturday
Oh,
saying like, "Hey Gemma, we're sorry we're late, but Eddie will be with you in like a bit." And I feel like such an asshole that I didn't see it because I don't have my Facebook on my phone anymore. So please extend an apology from me to her because like I if I do or say something that like hurts you, I can live with that, but I cannot make her feel like I mean like no I can't do that to her. So like please apologize. Please send my apologies to her.
I will
Um
be sure to let her know. I'll let her know. Hey, Nikki, Chairman wanted me to let you know that when he ignored you on Saturday, it was completely on purpose. He wants me to let you know to never message him again. Don't you ever contact me. Who do you think you are?
Look, I already have your dad hating me. I don't need her to hate me too. Like
Oh man, that shit was
it's
hilarious. I was laughing my ass off. I was legit laughing my ass off at my parents' house.
it was
So folks, for those of you who don't know, Chema and my dad got into a hilarious spat on Monday. It was fucking hilarious. Uh,
it it's just we're Mexican, so soccer is about to come up at one point.
Soccer is
Um
life. Football is life. And football is death.
and
Yeah.
and since you're not gonna argue with him about it, someone should. So so that's where we're at. Um, so that's where we're at. But that was fun. It was nice. It was kind of long overdue. Like it didn't even feel fun anymore, but it was still fun there. So
Fair.
yeah, I believe those were my only things for like I guess housekeeping or what were we calling just catching up. We
Uh,
got busy last week, so that's why we couldn't like put
yeah,
this up.
very busy, both of us. Fucking Father's Day, Jesus Christ.
How was your first Father's Day?
It was great. It was awesome. I got some custom shirts with me and Ollie on it. Got some cookies. Got some Legos. Got some clothes. It was a good day. It was a good day. So yeah. How about you? What'd you do Father's Day?
Well, I celebrated not being a dad like I do every day. I woke up late, I washed off the hangover, and no, I went to with my dad. I asked him if he wanted to do something specifically for like Father's Day, and he was like, "Don't do that."
Think you won't let me do it, so I'm gonna do it here.
That's fine. That's fine. This is not. No one's gonna see this. Anyway, no. So my dad, I went up with my dad. And I was like, "What do you want? What do you want to do?" And he's like, "I want a barbecue and I want to stay at home." And I was like, "Perfect. Let's do that."
Done.
So
Fucking
he,
done.
so I was like, "Do you want me to do it?" And he's like, "No. This is what I want to do. I want to do the barbecue. Then I'm gonna like leave, and then I'm gonna come back with my eyes covered, and I'm gonna be like, 'Oh my God, how did you know?'" So that's what he did.
Jesus. I'm
Yeah.
glad he got his wish.
He got what he wanted, yeah. My
Hmm?
sister and I got him a jersey of his team
Which team?
and Monterrey, yeah. And and yep, he's they played yesterday. He was wearing it then. So yeah, all good, all fun. Um, there was a no, that was about it. Yeah. Mostly that, and I went back to work. Um, yeah, that's about it. I saw Ballerina. Um,
Nice.
what was it? What was it? Day before yesterday? Yeah. I'm guessing that's gonna be our next review. I'm guessing you're really,
Looking
really are
forward
gonna
to
want
it.
to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I offer you a bit of constructive criticism though, sir?
Yeah, moments.
I saw your video review,
Uh-huh.
and I just wanted to tell you that
Bias as fuck.
it's no, nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. Um, her name is Ana de Armas, not Ana de Arms.
I heard someone else pronounce it like that, so I assumed that that was correct.
Well, they got it wrong.
No, but not Nando V Movies pronounces it like that, Film Speak, and another reviewer that I listened to. So
You know
okay, I
what
was
they
like, I
all
guess that's her pronunciation.
you know what they all have in common?
Oh, they're all Anglo? Fair point.
Yep.
Fair
She's
point.
Latin, she's Latina, she's Cuban.
No doubt. I was just like, I guess
Yeah.
that's how like they're naming. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go with the flow. Okay, Ana de Armas.
Yeah. All
Go
right, that's
on,
it.
I will re-voice over every time I say her name.
I'm gonna be really assholeish about it during the review, just to let you know. Like
Fuck you.
it's
I'm just gonna
it's
call
gonna
her.
come up. What?
I'm just gonna call her Anna.
Just or that, or
Or
that, just facing yourself
like,
away from, attempting to say a name right and just, taking the easy right. Very, very Anglo of you.
I'll say it right the first time. Go fuck yourself. Okay, Jose Garza.
Yeah. Anyway, should we jump into it?
Yes. Chema, hit the intro.
Thank you for welcoming us into your headphones. My name is Chema.
And I'm Ethan Hunt.
Reviewing Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. This is the rollback. Our lives are the sum of our choices. Ethan Hunt and team continue their search for the terrifying AI known as the Entity, which has infiltrated intelligence networks all over the world. With the world's governments and a mysterious ghost from Hunt's past on her trail, joined by new allies and armed with the means to shut the entity down for good, Hunt is on a race against time to prevent the world as we know it from changing forever. So this is the
Bad.
final Mission Impossible movie directed by Christopher McQuarrie, who previously directed also Mission Impossible Fallout, uh, Dead, sorry, Rogue Nation, and also Dead Reckoning Part 1. This is the final outing of Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt, and this is our review of it. So, very
So,
excited about this. And you,
man,
as someone
we
who
are on
did
two
not,
very different wavelengths with this film series. I'm just gonna
so
let you know
as
right
some,
now.
yeah, I know, and that's okay. That's what this show is about. I'll be honest, I am, I mean, I'm open to, talking criticism of the movie. I will not be biased or, unfairly comparing it to any other saga. To me, this is very much its own thing. So if you want to do that, you're gonna go about it alone, buddy. I'm sorry. It's just I don't find reviewing movies that way fair anymore, and I don't have a. And if anything, I've learned from this movie is that I'm gonna be very direct on what these movies mean to me. Okay. I don't have a super deep connection. I didn't grow up with the TV show. I didn't grow up watching the original ones. I barely, I got to them kind of late. Um, but my thing with the Mission Impossible movies is that there is a clear commitment and there is a clear wildness to them. How they can both be very serious and very wacky,
Hmm.
that to me they encapsulate the perfect spirit and evolution of cinema. Like when movies started, they didn't have dialogue. So we can't even say that like a drama started an evolution. Those came after. But like when we see like the first movies, when we saw like things like Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin, where like it was all physical, it was all physicality, and then it evolved to have dialogue, to have sound, to have music. When I see movies like this, like the last few Mission Impossibles, and when I see like how they've evolved, and when we get to this one, I think of like we've all worked our way to get here. Like we've all worked our way up to get to where we are here with this specific saga. Like if aliens came from another planet and we had to show them like a saga or like a film series, these are the movies that I would show. Because to
Mm.
wait, me, I'm saying me, okay? Now, to me, these are like and like I'm not even like the biggest fan of them. To me, these are not my favorite movies of all time. Tom Cruise is not my favorite actor
Respectable.
of all time. I have an incredible amount of respect for them, and to me, these promise a fun summer blockbuster. They give you a fun summer blockbuster, and they completely are their own thing. Now you may feel that way about the John Wick movies. I don't feel that way about the John Wick movies. I barely feel that way about these. But to me, these are the movies that perfectly encapsulate that feeling. And closing out the book on the Mission Impossible saga with this, to me felt good. To me, it felt nice. To me, this is a good movie, daring, ballsy, really its own thing, and that I'm glad that we have.
Mhm.
Now, folks, if you've all listened to us until now, this is where the biasness is going to. This is where the unbiasedness is going to end, and we're gonna move into assholeish territory. With all due respect, so go right ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have been able, I wrote my video review for this film. It's going to come out Friday. So while writing that review, I was able to distinguish what I didn't like about it. I was able to
Okay.
figure out, okay, why? 'Cause there was a point where I told you, like, oh man, I have notes, like comparisons of the film. And you said we can be better than that. And I messaged you back, you know what else could have been better? The ending. Um, so you know what? I won't draw comparisons direct. I will use examples. I think that's fair. But let's start with what is good, and then I'll go to my critique. And I think you'll understand where I'm coming from. So let's start with the good. When you think of summer blockbuster and spectacle, there are a handful of movies that come to mind, right? Jurassic Park, the OG Jurassic Park, right, comes to mind. Ghostbusters, Alien, the original, right? The first Predator film, Jaws. And I would have to say, I do think Mission Impossible falls in that spectrum. It is a blockbuster franchise, and also each film does feel, I don't want, unique is not the right phrase. Each one feels like an adventure. Um, when I found out after the fact that they planned the stunts and then planned the movie around the stunts, I was like, that makes so much more fucking sense. Like,
Yeah.
who the fuck would think that rock climbing was exciting? It was a great part to put in this film. Um, Um, Folks, by the way, leading up to this film, I watched all eight of them in the span of about a week. So it was every single fucking day I was watching a Mission Impossible movie to catch up because I was like, look, if I'm going in this, I'm not going in it blind. I need to know every fucking thing that happens.
I applaud your commitment. I really do.
But
Yeah.
that you understand, I spent over a day of my life watching these fucking movies. I think no, almost a full
Yeah.
day of my life, 24 hours.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of time. So I committed. So that said, does this movie feel like a blockbuster? I'll give you that. It does. Does it feel like an event? On some level, it does. And I'll even give credit to the editors because the part where they're like editing together, like everything has led to this, playing old footage, going back, leaning on old stuff from Mission Impossible's 1 through 7, right? All the nostalgia, the moments, the geeking out. I'll give it credit there. Hell, I'll even give the story some credit as far as trying to tie all the other films back into this one, right? Throwbacks, moments. We find out what the rabbit's foot was from fucking part three that we never knew what it was. Um, there's so much going on in this film, and I'll even give it credit for one other thing. Besides the stunts, we will get to the stunts. The entity, right? Like the kind of enemy that a modern day spectacle requires, right? AI, which is has taken over. I saw a video essay the other day about Tom Cruise versus AI, the trilogy you never saw. And it was like, Maverick, right? Maverick takes on AI, right? Automatic planes, and he wins. They
Yeah.
can't do it, but he can. Dead Reckoning Part 1, same thing. The Final Reckoning, same thing. He's taken on AI. Props to him for that, taking a very clear stance. One of the few things that me and this Scientology son of a bitch can't agree on.
Hmm.
And last credit I will give them will be the goddamn spectacle when it comes to the stunts. I th I can't deny that they're insane. Are they for me? No. But they are incredible feats. They're very self-indulgent. And then we turn the corner, maybe a little too self-indulgent.
Oh, they are, but they've been self-indulgent since part two. Like
Like,
that rock climbing scene is just so Tom Cruise can be like, "I'm so cool. Look at this." Like, yeah. But here's the thing: I would on anyone else, I would find that so douchey. And yet, for some reason, the fact that he commits 100% to these, like he's literally risking his life for our entertainment, I can't not respect that. It's like wrestling. Like, these people are like very obviously putting their life on the line just so we can be like, oh shit, man!
that's
Woo!
fair.
Yeah, like
That's fair.
I can't not love that and I can't not respect that. And that is something that I think very much is present in this movie. My biggest criticism of this movie, and I'll be very direct about this, and I'll say it from the start. It is a little too long. 170 minutes, where most of the first hour is is recapping what happened in the previous seven movies, which I cannot imagine how frustrating that must have been
To
when you
edit.
just watched. No, just
Oh,
never mind the edit. To have just watched the previous
no.
ones.
And you know what the problem is? They started to bleed into each other. I was like, wait a second. Which one was the one with the glass box? That was that one. So which was the one with Henry Cavill? Okay, Superman was the sixth one. Fuck, what was the fourth one? It was Ghost Protocol. Fuck, who do you fight in Ghost Protocol?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like,
I
it's
can't
it's
remember.
just yeah, we just get to that point where like it does feel a little bit too much. But to me, these movies they amplified to like good to great when this became a team movie. When
Yeah.
like Simon Pegg came in, when Luther came in, when Rebecca Ferguson came in, and now with Haley Atwell as of the last one, and then with also Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy. Like as soon as
Oh
she
my
joined as
God, I
well.
didn't know that was her.
Yeah, it's her. Um, yeah, the cast got bigger and the movie just got better. Like the teamwork in this just made the movie I think a lot better.
Maybe too
What's
big.
up?
Maybe the cast got a little bloated, if we're being honest with each other.
Yeah, but these are eight movies. It's like
No, I'm talking about the last one. Like any criticism I will lobby, I will criticize the whole franchise at a different point.
okay.
I feel like during the third act, when like Ethan's over here, they're doing this guy's over here. I'm like, there's
Yeah.
way too many people involved. Like you need one to set off the detonator, you need one to like do this, and you need one to do this, and like one fighter. Like you have a team of nine, you need a team of four at most.
Yeah. That's why they kill Luther at the start. So we can be like, okay, we're gonna take one out and then we'll add like four more.
See, and taking out Luther was to me the first step in making this film great. I was like, okay, tangible stakes. People can die. Um, do when should I give my biggest gripe of this film? Like the biggest like
I think can I guess it? Or do you wanna go
oh
for it?
you can guess it probably I guarantee you're right. You
You
know me.
think Ethan Hunt should have died?
Fuck yes.
Okay, I figured.
I think
You
Ethan
know why? You know why I knew? Because you said the same thing in Top Gun Maverick.
I yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. It's not okay, in Top Gun Maverick, it was because I wanted him to pass the torch. Actually, no, yeah, same reason. Pass the fucking torch. Because also it felt like okay, Luther died. Benji is the only one I could have been like, okay, he can live because he can like mentor the young kids while he runs MI6. I could see that happening. Or Benji dying. I would have been cool with that too. The team goes out saving the planet. Fuck yeah. And then we have a new team. in the that young U.S. Marshal, Mantis, Captain Carter. Like, fuck yeah, that's the future. Mission Impossible, New Frontiers. Boom, there you fucking go. Um, but because Tom Cruise refuses to fucking die, it it didn't feel enough, right? And the problem is that they built it up because you said it's not fair to compare, right? I was comparing it to James Bond 007.
Yeah.
That's fair, right? But here's the thing. The way that they built it up, they set up the story to make you expect that Ethan Hunt would die. And they had also set up the story to where it felt like his self-sacrifice was going to be worth it, right? I would even indulge the goddamn diving, which I'm sorry, man. Like, I took two restroom breaks during that scene. Like, self-indulgent to the ninth degree. And I understand this is cinema, but also this is boring. Like, you know why most films don't dedicate 30 minutes of their fucking runtime to submarine sequences diving? Because unless you're actually doing it, it's pretty fucking boring. And I understand the whole like, oh man, like your body's gonna be convulsing when you go up there. Cool, cool. It's gonna be freezing cold. Can't see it. Don't care. There's sharks in the water. Okay, see, we can work with that. Um, just that one part didn't kill the whole movie for me, but man, it did not fucking help. Um, it just that felt too self-indulgent. I'll give him the plane. The plane was fucking awesome. Like an old school like dogfight in a plane and in a plane that cannot be hacked by AI. Okay, cool. I can get behind it. Especially with the stakes that were given, like nuclear war. He is in front of every major military personnel in the country saying, "Give me an aircraft carrier, I can save us." And yet, in the end, he fucking lives. Like, what's next? Imagine the ending, and I know, like, imagine he dies, winning, beating the AI. He dies, and then they say the oath of like, it's a shame no one will ever know all the lives that Ethan saved. And then they repeat the oath, right? For those that we love and those we'll never meet, right? And show the world like existing and being happy. Ethan Hunt, being buried, but like, the last truly great hero. Can we live up to this hype? Benji being like, I hope I can guide you guys right. Imagine that story and Ethan Hunt going out on a high note. It would have been so much more emotional versus like when 007 died, when James Bond died, he had five films. Ethan had eight. Ethan had a longer span. Granted, they did a better job of intertwining the James Bond films versus the Mission Impossible films. But even then, imagine because when James Bond died, everyone went, "Holy shit, they did it! They killed him!" And like it made the moment feel more impactful and emotional, and it felt like a good end to the story. Whereas Ethan Hunt living, to me at least, it's dodgy because like he should either be retired or the story's over. Because now, guess what? Guess what the conversation is? It's not what a great story. I can't wait for the next chapter with the new characters. The conversation is, when do you think Tom Cruise is gonna do the Final Reckoning Part 3, The Return? Even if he publicly states, maybe he never comes back to it, but he did not kill the conversation before it began. This film was built up to feel like it was going to be a sacrifice, and what we got was some self-indulgence and a busybody victory.
Okay.
I'm
All
sorry.
right.
Is that
No, no, no.
fair?
That's how you perceive the picture, and that's how you like. That's you're speaking of what makes you emotional, what works for you, and to me that's fine. That's a perfectly fine opinion to have. Yeah,
That,
good.
that's why Iron Man and Captain America's send-offs in Endgame was so good because it's like, okay, goodbye. Same thing with Hugh Jackman. Like wonderful send-off, goodbye. And so when Hugh Jackman came back, even if it's like, oh, but it's a different Logan, yeah, but it still taints the other one. Even if, RDJ is not technically Tony Stark Iron Man, it still taints the sacrifice when he snapped his fingers. Even if Chris Evans is not our Captain America and he's Captain Hydra, it still taints it. I want deaths that stay dead. And I want them to matter when they matter because you can't just kill someone off after a film. If you do it after 5 films and you become attached to it, it matters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, it's a valid opinion, and that's like I mentioned, speaks to what works for you. Let me tell you why this works for me. Okay.
Please.
Do you know what my favorite movie ending of all time is?
What?
It's the ending to Indiana Jones 3
Why?
because it ends with, they find the Holy Grail. Indy, a friend of his, and his dad literally ride horses into the sunset as the credits start playing. The
Mhm.
theme song is playing, and they're literally still riding while the credits are playing.
Yeah.
To me, that is the perfect ending, classic and timeless. Okay?
Okay.
These Mission Impossible movies are not to subvert expectations. They are not to challenge they are
No.
not, how do I say this? They are to challenge, but in a different way.
Mhm.
They are to counteract every other franchise and how they exist.
Mhm.
And let me run by you using the same setups that you mentioned. The scene with the submarine is a 30-minute scene with no dialogue. It's
Mhm.
just Tom Cruise underwater, tension, very little music, and just seeing, not saying what is happening. Do you know what the biggest problem with movies nowadays, with the new ones being made?
Too much. They spoon feed too much.
Exactly. That whole scene is a challenge to the audience. Like, hey, pay attention for 30 fucking minutes, okay? And we're
Yeah.
gonna guide you visually to what is happening, okay? We're not explaining to you, we're not spoon-feeding to you what is happening because you're going to see, and due to Tom's reaction with his face and with his body, we're going to transmit how we're feeling on this moment. That scene is why I call this movie ballsy.
Mhm.
A lot of people may say it's boring. I will challenge and say that it just requires your full attention.
Mhm.
And that's not a dick to you. I didn't know you took two bathroom breaks during that scene. But it's an issue when most of us can't even get through a fucking 2-minute TikTok because we get bored.
Mhm.
Okay? So I find that movie and that decision to make that scene very long and very tense to be ballsy, to demand the audience attention. Okay? And I think that acts along with the anti-AI message of the movie. Like, hey, we're not only directly saying that AI is bad, we're doing a whole sequence where you have to pay attention because if not, you won't know what's happening. Movies should be like this. This should be the norm. This shouldn't be seen as like great counteractive culture, you know?
Mhm.
And so when I see something like that, I was entranced. I was in love with that. To me, though, that scene felt gigantic. It felt huge. It felt big. And why does he not die at the end? Because of the ending to Indiana Jones 3. Sometimes
The
we
adventure continues.
deserve to see the hero survive and ride off into the sunset.
We did
Tom
that.
Cruise Tom Cruise specifically said that he's not coming back for this. There's not going to be another Mission Impossible movie. I 100% believe that there won't be because he committed to this and retiring the character. There's even a moment at the end when he's walking amongst everyone after he gets handed off the drive, considering the entity. He's walking away, and as he's walking away, next to him is Christopher McQuarrie, like the director. It's literally the two of them walking away from us and like saying goodbye, like giving us their back and being like, we're done. Thank you for joining us on this trip. And that's why it's okay. I'm not thinking of a next generation. I don't think there will be a next generation. I think that will taint the ending of this. But we deserve sometimes to see the hero ride off into the sunset, he knowing what he did and being good with him to do so. We did get a fourth and a fifth Indiana Jones movie that were not good. So I think Tom has learned the lesson by watching old Harrison, and that's why he is doing Marvel movies and Tom is not. So I think That's how I perceive the ending to this movie. It's a classic and timeless, not counter action on that thing. This movie's trying to be a little bit old school in that sense, while also putting their line in the sand and being like, let's consider why the previous blockbusters worked and why something now is not working.
Hmm.
Because look, I'll be honest, I think they killed off John Wick a little too fast, but I don't want to see him back. Like,
Hmm.
I don't want a John Wick 5. I don't want to see John Wick fight through hell. I don't want to see, literally, I don't want to see John Wick like randomly being like brought back. I think he had a good, decent ending. Would I have want two more movies with him? Sure. Because look, I just saw Ballerina and something felt off about that. Something just did not gel super well with what everything was. Um, if
We'll
that
talk
movie
about
had
that
came out
next week.
before, yeah, we'll talk about that next week. But like, if that movie came out before, maybe. But the ending to me here works in a way where like, what's my biggest problem with The Rock? What am I always saying about The
He
Rock?
refuses to lose
Yes. Why do I think this works with Tom Cruise and doesn't work with The Rock?
because you think Tom Cruise
Because
is genuine.
there is a genuineness coming from the insanity of what he's doing. There is almost, I don't want to get to psych major here, but there's something almost neurodivergent about him. And like, there's like a need of like, I gotta jump off that plane like another, because like he got a Guinness World Record by jumping like I think 19 times with like a parachute that was on fire. Because like that whole scene was real.
Yeah,
And after he doing the 19th take, he was like, "Let me do a 20th." And Chris was like, "We literally destroyed all the other parachutes. You're not doing it again.
we don't have any more.
Like we're not doing it anymore." It's like, "No, we can get another one." It's like, "No, we destroyed them on purpose so that you wouldn't have to do it anymore. No, stop it. Like, please
We had eight
get some
more. We
help."
burned them all. There's always
Yeah,
like
like literally, like if you do it, it's gonna be without parachutes. And Tom would probably be like, "Let me try it." Like, no, no, no.
I can find a way.
Find a way. Like, no. So they literally had to be like almost like strap him into like a jacket and be like, stop it. There is something to me that's charming about that constant need of like I'm doing it not for me but for them. And because I was in that audience and we all yelled, we all shrieked, we all got scared, we were all feeling it throughout. I understand this is not going to work for everyone. Some people are calling this like the second or third worst of the franchise because of how long it is, because of how kind of derivative it is. I'll be honest, this is not a perfect movie for me. Like, it's not. But as a closeout to this saga, and taking what I take from it, like I mentioned, what you see as kind of exploitative and self-indulgent, I see as timeless and classic, and like we deserve to see that hero right off into the sunset, like after having won. Like you probably like you mentioned, you consider like that sacrifice as being more noble. I want to see something different, and sometimes the classics work because they work, you
Hmm.
know. So that's my interpretation of it. And I respect you and I respect your opinion, but
But you're right to be wrong.
and that's where we differ, folks. Like that's where yeah. Um, but to me, this was a blast, and I'm so glad that I saw it in theaters. I'm glad that I saw it in like a big ass screen. I'm glad that I saw it like eating popcorn. I'm glad that I got to see it with my family, who's also like fans of them. Like I mentioned, it's not perfect, but to me, this is one that really works. Um, and I'm sticking to it.
Fair. Look, man, I respect this movie? Yes, you have to respect a guy that's willing to do all these crazy ass stunts. I respect Tom Cruise. I just I wish they had come up with the story first and then the stunts. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. And the recapping is necessary. I will give him that, even though this movie's fucking long. The recap is necessary. I don't know, man. I like my superheroes dead. I like my noble winner. I like my noble leads to die in the end to go out in a blaze of glory.
Well, and that's where we're gonna defer,
Man, what does it say
and
about
that's
me?
okay. It's it. Yeah, I mean, we know you have a Superman complex, so
I'm going out swinging.
yeah. And it's like I don't know. You can be like, I'm going out swinging, and we're like, Dad, there's no danger. Like,
I am the
what are you?
danger.
Anyway, what I'm saying with this is that I'm ready to welcome a new era of like blockbuster. If Fantastic Four and Superman follow on these steps, then I will be a happy, happy boy.
What are your expectations?
Also,
Hmm.
I forgot to mention a moment, but like when he gets to the submarine
Hmm.
and Mr. Milchek from Severance shows up,
Oh
like,
my God. Dude, he's also is he I know who you're talking about when he gets to the submarine. Where is he? Where is he? What
yeah,
assassin?
Tremel Tillman, yeah,
Do you remember his name?
Tremel Tillman,
Tillman, Tillman, Tillman.
yeah,
Where is he? I think I saw him in a movie that was Tillman. I think he's the one. Is he the guy that I remember? Sweetheart, Mission Impossible, your mother. Nope,
better
nope.
be. You're racist if not.
No, no, he's someone else. Never mind. Okay, I thought he was someone else.
Okay. When he showed up, a few people in the audience went, "Fuck you, Mr. Milchek." So that was fun.
Nikki watched Severance. She loves that show. I haven't been able to.
You haven't seen it?
I saw a few episodes, but I think it bothers me too much at the fact that they keep winning.
They don't. They're constantly in a state of suffering.
No, no, that the corporation keeps winning.
Oh, wait, you don't want the hero to win and you don't want the corporations to. Who the fuck do you want to win?
Uh, After 5 seasons, a noble sacrifice, the heroes can win.
But they have to be dead.
It's too real. It's too real. Severance is too fucking real. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not
I bet.
diving into goddamn submarines, but I do know what it's like to work in an office and feel brain drained.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Hmm. Ah, fair. Yeah, fucking there you go, being an adult. But no, I will say this though, I can't wait for fast forward 10 years when they start to redo the franchise. Good, no, because bear in mind, this is based on a TV show, and this came up. Imagine what can happen if when they redo when they make a new Mission Impossible franchise. It doesn't have to feature Ethan Hunt. It can feature brand new characters. Come on, Mission Impossible, New Frontiers.
It's not just that, it's just that it's an exhausting way to
Look at it.
perceive
Look at things.
everything. I'll be honest, because like for example, I just saw the Karate Kid, the Legends,
Yeah,
and it would be kind of exciting if we hadn't had, a whole show about
Cobra
them
Kai.
doing that.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
who the fuck's gonna watch this? I'm like tired of this shit.
I mean, it's not bad. I'll tell you this, it's not bad at all. It's just not as exciting as, the Karate Kid was in the 80s or how original and new the Cobra Kai was. At least that was like batshit insane and it knew that it was. Um, yeah. So at least there's that. But then I don't know. I complain about new movies too. Like I just saw this movie Opus and oh God, you would hate this movie.
Opus?
Yeah, it's the new A24. It's basically the menu, but like different. It's not
Oh, the
great.
one where like she goes to talk to a cult,
John
right?
Malkovich. Yeah, John Malkovich. And I like all these actors. I like Ayo Edebiri a lot, but it's just the movie was just not good. So I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck I want. This is Daniel Springsteen movie looks good. If it's not full of biopic cliches, we'll see.
I'm sure it will be. Well, okay, so is it just covering like his first album, like his very beginning?
So running on this random tangent, since you sent me the message on Telegram and I forgot to answer. So Springsteen began playing very loud, very rock and roll music, and then after like two, three albums, he decides to take a step back and record this very lo-fi, lower dynamics album by himself in a room, like in his childhood bedroom. The album is called Nebraska and the album is about him growing up and like his failings in love and about his family. He had a very public, strange relationship with his father that it's gonna hit anyone. And so the movie is about that specific session in his life when he's doing Nebraska. Um,
Okay.
I saw the trailer. I'm really excited. I heard that Jeremy Allen White did his own singing, which, if that's true, he sounds exactly like Bruce. So we'll see how that goes. I do hate one thing.
What?
The movie
Wumbledore?
was original. What?
Go, no, keep going.
The movie was originally called Deliver Me from Nowhere, which is a great title. They changed it to be Springsteen Deliver Me from Nowhere, which I think makes it cheap. It sounds like a Lifetime movie. It sounds like a TV original movie. Like, why include the name? Just call it Deliver Me from Nowhere. We'll know.
Honestly, I think most people wouldn't have. I wouldn't have known. If it was just called Delivery from Nowhere and I didn't know that it was Bruce Springsteen, I would just be like, oh, that looks like a good movie.
Yeah, but like for example, they just had the Bob Dylan movie, and that was called like a complete unknown. You could just call it that. Like it's fine. They didn't call it Dylan, a complete unknown.
A complete unknown. Let's see. Did it make bank?
Doesn't matter if it made bank. It was not made for money. It was made to like win Oscars, which it didn't.
Let's see. Is it should I watch a complete unknown?
Um, I'm a pretty big Bob Dylan fan. I went into the movie knowing a lot about him. I went out knowing less.
Question. Bob
Not
Dylan
great.
and Bruce Springsteen, they ever cross paths?
Sometimes they're still alive, both of them.
Are they homie?
Um,
It seems
they're
like they. It seems like they
there's a
would
respect them.
like. So it's kind of like a Kobe, my MJ situation. Look, I'm the GOAT. You're the GOAT. Let's not fuck with each other. We're both amazing.
Kind of. There's some mutual respect, but I think everyone respects Dylan. Everyone respects Springsteen. Like there's no, I don't know. There's everyone loves Springsteen, and then like the people who are very like on the right side of the political spectrum, they love him, and then they go like, "Oh wait, he's liberal." I was like, "What did you think was all this about, man? Like what?"
Yeah.
Look at this guy. Like, yeah. But no, I love Springsteen. I've seen him in concert. Yeah, I think he's fan fucking tastic. So cannot wait to see a movie based on a little moment of his life. So cannot wait. But coming back to Mission Impossible, um, look, am I going to sit down and rewatch all these movies all the time? No. Do I think they're championing
Cinema.
filmmaking and cinema and using all these resources to tell a fun story with amazing stunts, some that will never probably be replicated. They made these movies hit so hard that they forced the Oscars to introduce a best stunts category. The Oscars realize that by the time they enter it into rotation, it will be too late to award it to this movie. So they just announced they're gonna give a an honorary Oscar to Tom Cruise for his contributions to cinema. Like that's how
They're
much
balancing
you've
it out.
changed the game. Yeah, that's how much you've changed the game, and I think he deserves it. Like I think, yeah. Um, so that's where we're at. That's where we're at with these movies. These movies mean something, man. They're gonna be remembered, and that's important. It's important that we keep like a legacy there going, because every year I get more worried on like the status of like how much film is changing and how much film is moving. So it is not bad to remind us why the classics work for a reason, and I think that's what this movie means, and that's what it meant to me.
You know, I'll say this much. I've heard the argument about how movies are getting worse. I have to politely disagree. I think are there more bad movies? Sure, but I'd also argue there's more good ones. Someone did a video breakdown showing like, look, these are the movies from like the year 1985, right? We got like five Stone Cold classics here. Here are the movies that came out in 2015. We have this. Like all of which could, very, very well be considered like leading in their field for that year.
Yeah.
Like it, like no, we just have a lot more of it. So maybe you see that, oh, there's more garbage. Yeah, like there's gonna be more garbage out there, but I'd also argue because there's so many more original filmmakers making original projects, we also have the opportunity to get more original stuff, right? We would have never gotten something like, fuck, off the top of my head. What's something like random that completely worked that should not have?
Sinners.
Sinners. Sinners should not have worked. But because we get these mass-produced, big budget films like, for example, Black Panther, Ryan Coogler got a blank check film, and we got
Yeah.
Sinners for it. If we have to eat, God, what's a bad movie? If we have to eat like a night swim so we can get Sinners, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but Ryan Coogler didn't do Night Swim, did he? He
Yeah,
did
but
a
all he does
pretty
is do hits. We can't hit them all. I mean, you.
yeah. But like for example, look at the if you go to a movie theater right now,
Mhm.
this Mission Impossible movie is stuck in between the Lilo and Stitch live action remake and the How to Train Your Dragon live action remake.
Mhm.
Okay? That's not a pretty sight. Okay? And then right under the corner you have Ballerina, which is, it's not bad, but it's a spin-off, you know? It's a spin-off of like after four movies. So, and then between those is like Mission Impossible and Sinners, which is like, you know, out of all of these, I think these are the ones that I'd rather see. Um,
Maybe
I mean, I
possible.
haven't seen the How to Train Your Dragon live action remake, but like I don't want to see any live action remakes. I don't. Like
From what from what I understand, when I looked it up, I have not seen it. I've just heard people talking about it. They said
yeah,
this is the way Disney should have been doing their live action remakes.
I knew they were gonna say that. I knew they were gonna fucking say that. And sometimes it's like, yeah,
That
and
is true.
it's most likely true, but it's still a live action remake. And you know, even if the live action remake is good, like the original one is still better. Like it's
Yeah.
it's right there. I think the biggest reward for an animated movie shouldn't be let's do it into live action. Last year they re-released Coraline in theaters for its 50th anniversary, and I went to see it, and it was full. It was packed. People
Yeah.
dressed up. It was awesome. Okay,
Mhm.
if they had re-released How to Train Your Dragon, the animated one, into theaters and IMAX again, brother, I would have been there day one. Those flying scenes, still one of the best uses of IMAX that have ever existed. Better than Avatar. But they didn't do that. They decided to do this. So, in the middle of like all this bullshit, I am okay with watching a movie that's 100% done by people, not by entities, and that is taking very much a stance into like, you know what? This is where we fucking belong. Let's do better. This is good. And it still ties it up into the movie. So that's what the movie represents to me. And maybe some people took that same feeling from Sinners, which also was very organic, very human, very much made by people. And that's okay. And what I always say, if we get two good movies on the same weekend, we all win. Like
Mhm.
I don't see it as competition. I never see this art as competition. I don't. So I'm just fucking happy that we got like a movie that like that used a lot of studio money to be like this is our fat 3 hour long movie about fighting AI that doesn't use AI and this guy's dangling from a fucking plane. Like, yeah. Like honestly, we've reached a point where like, dude, I fucking hate going to movie theaters and seeing people on their phones. I hate it. I know some people are busy. I know you have work. I know you have kids. I know. But like if there was a point where like movie theaters required you to leave your phone out before, I would do it. Screw it.
If you own a movie theater, would you be like no phones allowed for anyone?
If I owned it,
Yeah.
yeah, I would.
No.
I would
Congratulations.
try to.
You're closed.
Yeah, most likely. We become too dependent on it. That's the only problem. But I'm getting way off topic. It's just this is the way that this movie made me feel, and I think that's good. Is it gonna end up in my top 10? Maybe. Depends on the year. Depends on how good that Springsteen movie is. But I like this movie. I really, really like this movie, and I think it perfectly caps this story, these characters, and most of all, I'm just happy that Benji didn't die because if Benji had died, my mom would have been unconsolable.
The whole original team should have died. I'm just saying. Final
Oh
grades,
God.
or what's your grade?
Oh wait, but before we do, so you were okay with them killing Rebecca Ferguson in the last one?
Oh
Is that good
no,
for you?
I was like, why are they dumping the love interest like now and giving him Captain Carter? Like, I get it, but why? Like, why is this? This is a final film territory. Like, Luther dies, she dies, Benji dies. Ethan's like, I'm all alone. Like, it's just me now. And then he dies looking at the sunset. You know, Victor is being like, mission accomplished. Oh. The world will
You
never know what Ethan sacrificed to give to save them. For
you
those that we love and those we will never meet.
you could have just rewatched John Wick 4 if you wanted
You're right. Keanu Reeves did it
that.
better. I'll say it right now. I will stack the John Wick quadrilogy against the Mission Impossible octology. We win. Fucking say that right now. You can have your fucking jumping out of a plane. We have gun fu.
So
Just
this
fuck.
is why this podcast works because you're definitely gonna have two different perspectives, and we're not gonna agree all the time. We're
And one
not
of us is
gonna
gonna be
have the
more right
same
than the other.
viewpoints, and one is gonna be correct, and that one's me. So, what would I score this movie? I give it a four stars, 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, like I mentioned, yeah.
I I will give it 6 out of 10.
It sounds mean, but knowing you like I know you, that's good.
Yeah, I give a movie that I really like 7. Like if I really like a movie, it's 7. If it's like, it's okay, but I'm planning on watching it again, 5 or 6. Like if I'm ever forced to watch this movie again, it'll be because Ollie has me at a gunpoint and he wants to watch the whole series. And I'll be like, Mijito, you don't know what you're getting yourself into, but I'll do it for you.
It's always about gun points with you. Always gotta be at gun points with you. Can't do it just because you wanna fulfill a childhood whimsy to your child. Just
I will tell Mijito, there's better movies out there. There's better movies. All right, there's this man. There's this man who, you know how we love our dogs? There's this man, dog.
there's this man who's thinking he's back.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so that's our review of Mission Impossible: The
Jesus
Final
fuck.
Reckoning,
Much like this movie, we're all over the fucking place and very unfocused, and it could have been better.
and it could have been shorter. Thank you so
That
much for
too.
joining us.
That was good. Yeah, I'm frustrated too, Mr. Oliver.
Thank you so much for joining us. My name was Chama.
And I've been Eddie.
What are we doing next week? Ballerina?
Yes. Yeah,
All
ballerina.
right, all right, we're doing next week. Thank you for joining us.
Kill your heroes.
Good night, everyone.
Oh man, what a great way to